Hi, I'm Lenny McAllister, and this is McAllister's Saturday Remix, found exclusively at Politic365. With the wheels falling off of the cane train, the riders taking the trip to the RNC convention in Tampa next summer have to find another place to hitch their wagon. It looks as though the wagons are circling around the once-deserted candidacy of former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich. Although that news comes to the chagrin of two-time candidate and former GOP frontrunner Mitt Romney, there is actually one candidate that bruised this news even more. No, it's not Rick Perry, Michelle Bachmann, or Ron Paul. It's President Barack Obama. Liberals, and even some conservatives, keep making the case that Gingrich's personal and political baggage from the 1990s is too much to allow him to be a viable threat to the historic incumbent that's trying to raise $1 billion for his 2012 campaign. Well, on the surface that sounds true, but the same was also said about a twice-married, controversial ex-actor trying to take on an incumbent president soon after he put through a historic peace agreement during an era of great mistrust towards Republicans. And we all know how that turned out. For those that don't quite recall, let me gently remind you that the man that President Obama is most often compared to by conservatives, President Jimmy Carter, had a huge lead over former California Governor Ronald Reagan as the corner turned towards the 1980 presidential election. Despite this lead, the more that the candidates' positions and grasp of the issues were highlighted instead of the personas of the candidates, the more Reagan closed the gap. And once the two were put on the same stage together, Reagan was in position to seal a deal that led him to winning 44 states over the sitting president. And if you think that the Obama administration is internally asking to battle Gingrich mano-a-mano the way the Carter administration hoped Reagan would win the 1980 GOP nomination, think again. The one thing that will trip up the presumed great communicator of the 21st century will be another great communicator. As telegenic and eloquent as he is, President Obama will meet his match on the eloquence, although perhaps not on the telegenics, when it comes to Gingrich. And while he may not be afraid of going up against Newt, Mr. Obama knows that if he must match wits and rhetoric directly with the one Republican candidate that has the momentum and talent to match Reagan's gifts from the 1980 election, Mr. Obama stares directly at experiencing a match to, perhaps, Carter's re-election efforts some 30 years later. I'm Lenny McAllister. Check out my latest article on Politic365 this weekend, and tune into CNN Saturday Morning every weekend with me, host TJ Holmes, and fellow pundit Maria Cardona at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 9:30 Central. Also catch me this weekend on CNN Newsroom at 6:15 p.m., 5:15 Central. This is McAllister's Saturday Remix, found exclusively at Politic365.com.